Hey howdy hey everyone. Welcome to You'd Better Ask Brian, where I, Brian the Bunny Rabbit, will be answering the viewers' questions, and that includes you too. First up, we've got Harry Humble with his 3 questions. How did Mayday 51 feel when his old computer bit the dust? Well, I suppose he was a bit disappointed. And with that, one of our production companies had to be closed down, and the catalog is now owned by the current owner of IME Entertainment Worldwide. What do you think of Liberty's Kids, a religious American cartoon made by Dick Entertainment? I've heard of it, but never watched it. And I'm sorry to say, it's not really my thing either. And what is your opinion on the 3 Inspector Gadget games made for the PlayStation? I've heard about your opinions. It's not really the sort of games I'd be playing, mark my words. Ben Brian has 3 more questions now. Have you watched any of the National Lottery game shows? Yes, I have. I've seen In It to Win It with Dale Winton, Winning Lines with Simon Mayo, or Philip Schofield in the later series, and the only one that's still running to this day, Who Dares Wins. I've also seen the National Lottery live before, of course. How do you feel that I'm going to be in the Panto again this year? Well, I feel great. The next Panto Ben will be appearing in, is Cinderella, at the Usual Wharf Theatre at Devizes. And have you seen my friend Sam Bishop's new YouTube channel? Yes, I have. It's not at all bad, and I hear he's training to be one of today's pop sensations. Sam, if you're watching this, keep up the good work. Daisy May Hansel, Sophie's pet rabbit, has kindly given me another question. She asks, do you watch Bluey and Abby Hatcher? No I don't, unfortunately. Moving on then. It looks like someone called FDH Project has 4 questions. Do you like the Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaha franchise? Never heard of it. What are your 2 favorite films? I have some good examples, Toy Story, and Johnny English. What are your 2 hated shows? Well, I'm sorry if I'm saying this in public, but I can't stand Love Island and Big Brother. They should have never existed in the world. Enough said. Sorry for that bit of ranting there. Anyway, when did you first set up your channel? Why, on the 4th of January 2015. Now Haley Dennis has 4 more questions. Do you remember Words and Pictures on BBC Two? Yes I do. I remember watching that at school, you know. The good quality animation in the stories, Sophie Aldred's Ace, presenting job, the magic pencil, everything. Don't forget Michael Hobbs doing a short-lived series, and Tickabilla's Paul Ewing with Words and Pictures Plus. Do you remember Channel 4's first launch from 1982? Yes, I've seen plenty of footage of that online. And in 2007, they recreated the entire launch evening with not just the programs, but the exact same adverts too, to celebrate 25 years of Channel 4. Awesome. Do you know anything about phonics? Of course I do. And do you ever go to the zoo? Well, me and my wife Brianna, we went to Windsor Safari Park for our honeymoon, you know. That was great. Neslover94 asks, have you heard about the CITV game show Terror Towers? Yes I have. I've seen clips of it before, and it was one of those to have a scary theme in it, along with the Crystal Maze, I think, in one of the zones as seen here. Hosted by Steve Johnson from Motormouth, and funnily enough, because it was produced by the same team behind Art Attack and Zap, this was one of those shows that the early hit entertainment used to acquire in the 90s after its broadcast. The same goes with another show that Steve Johnson did for Motormouth, a game show version of Mousetrap. Looks thriving, doesn't it? And Motormouth itself, despite it being a live Saturday morning show on ITV, it got repeated on the Family Channel in the middle of the 90s too, and it was on as early as 4 AM. The ever so charming Jack Williams has 3 questions now. Have you ever seen the film Hop, by Illumination Entertainment? Not really. Who are your favorite characters from Flubber? Why, Flubber himself. And what are your favorite episodes of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century? Unfortunately, I've not seen much of it, so I don't have one. Wilder Wonka asks, what do you think of Disney Plus? I reckon it's gonna be pretty good, and yes, some classic shows like Darkwing Duck are going to be on it too. I'm not sure about some of Saban Entertainment's catalog though. Daniel Russell has 3 more questions now. What's your favorite Welsh kids program? Well, it's plenty of those produced by Serial Enterprises and Bumper Films that I like very much. My favorites produced by Serial are Will Quack Quack, Romuald the Reindeer, and Meow. What do you think of Dad's Army? Quite good, I must say. I suppose you were asking that because of appearances from both Arthur Lowe and John Le Mesurier. That's still repeated on BBC Two every Saturday night, of course. And speaking of which, about Dad's Army actors, do you think Clive Dunn could have narrated the John Mouse stories by Roger Hargreaves for an existing TV series? Well, back then, that would have worked out really well. And Flicks Films were the animation masters of Roger's works. My best friend Simpsons Clips 24 asks, what's your favorite moment in Dick and Dom in the Bungalow? Well, what a crazy weekend morning show that was. I'd say, the Buggies moments, the creamy muck-muck segments based on classic game shows, and the moment when someone called Charlie Nunley called Dick and Dom on the phone, even though he wasn't watching it, he was watching something else. That was a cracker. And yes, the Dick and Dom Diaries was shown on Superstar Comedy before. Anna Zubinska-Kornatowska has 5 questions. What's your opinion on Little Ghost Q-Taro? Never heard of it. Do you have the Wallace and Gromit Mail on Sunday promotional DVD from 2002? No, I don't, but I do have this North American DVD which I bought from a charity shop once. Gromit's Tail Wagging DVD. What do you think of Let's Go and Pan Man? I've heard of it but never watched it. You see, I'm not a huge anime fan. There's a rumor online that Poi Fan Lee from the Teletubbies voiced Mukuro in the English dub of Chibi Mukuro-chan. No, I don't really think she got involved with that at all. And can you show a clip of Phantom Cat shouting help? I'm not really in the mood to do that, I'm afraid. 3 more questions from Very TV. Do you like Marmite? Unlike most people, I actually quite like it. I like it on sandwiches, like some people would like to do. Enough said. What's your favorite episode of Daisy and Ollie, produced by Cosgrove Hall Fitzpatrick Entertainment? Oh, well, I don't know really. Probably the Christmas special with Gary Barlow making a special appearance. Also, in case you don't know what's happening with the next series, we know that Cosgrove Hall Fitzpatrick has sadly closed down, but I now know that the next series will be made by a new company called Hoop Animation. Not much is known about it at the moment, but we'll know by the time it comes out. And what do you regret doing on TV, Burp? Well, dating from the last series we did last year, those top 10 rundowns, specifically involving unpopular music, that we randomly do in the middle of the parts, I regret doing those. They're a waste of time. Our greatest friend of all, Aaron Mann, has the total of 5 questions. Who are your favorite Cartoonitos? Well, Cartoonito is a channel, isn't it? Oh, I suppose you mean, which one of these characters from Cartoonito is your favorite? Well, my answer is, I like them all the same. Have you watched Strictly Come Dancing with Saffron Barker lately? I don't watch Strictly, I'm afraid. And did you know that Annika Rice did a program called Challenge Annika? Well, I know that, yes. After it ended on BBC One, a revamp of it aired on ITV in the late 2000s. Which variant of Boomerang do you like? 2000, 2004, 2007, 2012, or 2015? The first 2 variants will have to do for my liking. They had more variety back then. Who is your favorite Mario Toys family superstar villain? Let me guess, the Ice King, or Shadow the Hedgehog. And what do you think of Louis JPI 2019, Louis Eagle's new channel? Well, I think it's very good indeed. It gives him a good variety of Mario Toys family, archive footage, reviews, and vlogs. Very nice indeed. Oscar Barnett asks, are you looking forward to my TV Burp making a return in the 2020s? Oh well, I think I am. It may be a long while, but who knows what else the future will hold. Keep up the good work. It looks like Palette with Sakugo/Totally has 5 more questions. Did you know that Fairly Odd Parents was broadcast on some Disney channels? Not the original, but some from around the world. I don't know about that. Who is your favorite female character in the Pokemon anime? I don't have one, sadly. What's your opinion on the art style of Pokemon Sun and Moon and the show itself? Looks pretty good. Did you know that the 2003 TMNT series had an alt intro and end credits in Japanese? No, I didn't. And do you think Digimon is a rip-off of Pokemon because they both have Mon at the end of the title? I don't think so. They're both popular in their own ways. Some people like Pokemon, and some other people might like Digimon. At least I know they both involve pocket or digital monsters. I can understand that. But they're both different in their own ways, that's all. Joshua Wilkins asks, have you heard of Chatter Happy Ponies? Yes, I have. That aired on CITV in the late 90s, and it was produced by Clear Idea Television, a company that Nick Wilson, head of children's programming on Channel 5, used to own, which originally produced programs for TV/AM. Again, not many episodes have been uploaded, but it did get released on home media 4 times, but they're very rare to get hold of these days. Paul Robertson has 5 questions now. Do you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Yes. Like most people do, except Roald Dahl himself, who hated it in the first place. What's your favorite song from the classic series of Postman Pat? The theme song, obviously, Jess the Cat, and Sam's Mobile Shop song. What's your opinion on the new supermarket sweep with Rill and Clark Neal? Well, I'd say it wasn't too bad. What's your favorite episode of Paddington Bear? A Bear in Hot Water, the one where he causes trouble while taking a bath. That brings back memories. And what's your favorite Roald Dahl book? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The BFG, George's Marvelous Medicine, The Enormous Crocodile, and The Twits. Jao772 has 5 more questions. Have you heard of the Mysterious Cities of Gold? I've seen snippets of it, yes. Have you seen or heard of Will Quack Quack? Why, yes, of course. Based on the existing Welsh books. Have you heard of The Worst Witch CITV adaptation from 1998? Yes, I have. I used to watch that. Have you seen the Hanna-Barbera version of Charlotte's Web from 1972? Yes, I have actually, but not in a long time. And do you prefer Paul Nicholas narrating the adventures of Spot over Jane Horrocks? Yes, of course I would do. And finally, to squeeze a bit of time in, Willow has 3 questions. One of them I've answered earlier, so here are the other 2. Do you like chocolate? Yes. It does rot my 2 front teeth though. And finally, do you or Aaron Man make TV burp better? I'm sorry, but mine's got to be the best one of the lot. That's all we've got time for. Remember to leave me more questions below, and I'll see you next week for more.